Hi, I'm Gary Engler, your socialist grandfather. At the end of the last episode, I asked a question. This time, the answer. For change to happen peacefully, it must be popular, supported by most people around the world. That, in turn, means the new system must ultimately be more democratic, because the most popular system is one in which most people feel they have a stake. It must end perverse incentives that result in war, the devastation of our environment, and inequality. Instead, the new system must encourage environmental stewardship, cooperation, and equality, both of responsibility and power. These must become foundational principles of our economy as well as our political system on the local, national, international, and personal level. This imagined system must be achievable because it is worse than pointless to dream about something that cannot happen. It is a waste of time we do not have. And to be achievable, this new system must be something that can be built by people who are currently or soon to be alive. Just as the neoliberal era revealed the true nature of capitalism and its incompatibility with real democracy, a history of the past 50 years also holds lessons regarding the power of ideas and how they can be translated into actions that change the world. The working class can draw lessons from the success of our enemies in destroying Keynesian social democracy. When I was a teenager in the late 1960s, Keynesianism was economic and political orthodoxy. Governments managed capitalism primarily through counter cyclical spending. Deficits would be run during economic downturns to counteract the tendency of capitalism to crises, a lesson learned during the 1930s worldwide depression. Along with this, in the wealthiest countries, came social programs to mitigate the worst effects of capitalism's class conflict. There seemed to be a consensus that governments stabilizing the system, unions, social programs paid for by higher taxes was the way to go. Of course, many capitalists disagreed with high taxes. They also disliked unions and they had the resources to translate their opinions into political action. They bought politicians and entire political parties. The first popular negative response to Keynesianism was a book by the Austrian English economist Friedrich Hayek titled The Road to Serfdom, published in 1944. At first, its popularity was confined to pro capitalist economists and fellow travelers, but its idea that any government involvement in the economy inevitably leads to dictatorship appealed to the right wing owners of Reader's Digest, who serialized the book. Millions of copies were printed and distributed. Still, it took a further 25 years of conservative ideological agitation by academics, think tanks, and societies bought and paid for by wealthy people to spread the idea that any government intervention in the economy was bad and that greed was good. Only then did some governments act on it. What can we learn from this? That it is possible for a few to rally around a set of ideas that motivate them and then spread those ideas more widely. Neoliberals targeted the people that counted under capitalism, the wealthy and powerful, until they convinced enough of them to use their power to change the world. We aim to create a movement of those who build the factories, work in them, operate the trains, buses, and trucks, teach children, serve coffee, care for the sick, sew clothes, and perform thousands of other tasks that make up what we call the economy. Our potential supporters are the source of all the profits that capitalists claim belong to them. That gives us tremendous latent power. That is our target audience. Next time.